Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Raw Moments. Today's episode is not at all what I planned it to be. I thought I had a topic that I wanted to talk about specifically, but something keeps happening and I feel like that's God's way of telling me that this is what he wants me to talk about instead. So we're going to switch gears a little bit. Maybe the other topic will come up at a later date. But for now, we are going to be talking about prayer and manifestation. So something that I have been doing every single night and every single morning is praying for clarity and understanding and a sign that I am walking in my purpose. But not only am I walking in my purpose, but I'm walking in my purpose in the way that God wants me to do it. Because I've been so confused about, am I doing the right thing? Am I doing it the right way? Could I be doing it better? Like going round and round in my head, driving myself literally insane. And God has been telling me that I am doing exactly what I am supposed to be doing. And I know that because he has been giving me countless amounts of signs that I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. I also believe that I have been manifesting certain things in my life, and it can be something so minuscule, so small, but I say it and it will happen within 5 minutes, 10 minutes, the next day. Like I will see whatever it is that I was manifesting or talking about, and that lets me know that this right now is my time. Like this is my time for me to see all of the things that God has been preparing me for. And that's really scary, to be honest, because I know that it's something that's so huge and so big that it's going to be unimaginable to me, and that I'm not going to be able to understand it, that it's just going to happen and it's going to be here. And so I know that I have to be extremely careful with the things I say and the things I do, because everything that I'm saying or that I'm thinking is happening in my actual life. And so yeah, but I was watching a Sunday service last Sunday. It was called Glory Triggers, and it was something that my mom was watching, and I just happened to go upstairs into her closet and to like talk to her or say good morning. And the part in which I walked in on was basically saying that you have been going through something, trauma and, depression or, whatever it is that you're going through, but I am using that very thing to help you walk in your purpose. I am using that very thing for you to be able to reach back and help somebody else. You are not going through this for no reason. You are not going through this because you did something wrong. You are going through this because this is what your purpose is. Like you are walking in your purpose, and it's really important for you to share what you're going through, because that is why you're here. Like that is what you are supposed to be doing. That is what I have ordained over you in your life. And part of me is like, why would you give me, such a huge task of sharing something that's so intimate, so personal, so scary, and then I have to do it, like go through it so I can share that with the entire world? Like, one, I am somebody that is so private. Like I am so extremely private. I don't like to talk about anything that I'm going through. I don't like to, share. Like I am so private, and I pride myself on being that way, on top of the fact of I don't like being in front of a camera. I don't like, taking pictures. Like, that's just not who I am. And so for God to make it my purpose for me to go through something so hard, something that was so hard for me to go through, and not only am I going through that thing, but I have to share that thing, and the way in which I have to share it is so completely out of my comfort zone. And you know, that part of me that's like, why would you give me like that thing to do? Like, couldn't you have given me, you know, another purpose that fit with, you know, within my personality, that fit within, you know, where I'm comfortable? But no, like, no, he needs for me to be uncomfortable, because that is the only way that I'm going to grow. That is the only way that I'm going to be able to walk in my purpose. And I am learning now more than ever that I have to 100% trust and 100% walk by faith and not by sight. I've heard that saying so much, like, walk by faith, not by sight. All you need is, you know, the faith of a mustard seed. Like, I've heard that growing up, and I knew what it meant, but didn't really like fully 100% understand what it meant. And I feel like now I am starting to really understand, like, that literally means you can have no doubt, you can have no fear. You have to trust that God has a plan and that he is helping you fulfill your destiny with how he wants it done, not how you want it done, or not how you think you should be doing it. And, you know, the past maybe 2.5 years, I thought like, oh, okay, this is what I'm supposed to do. Or, you know, I'm supposed to do this thing, or I'm supposed to do that thing. And, you know, every time that I went to do that, it was like, God was like, have a seat. That's not it. Have a seat. That's not it. Or something that I know that I'm supposed to do because, you know, he told me like, hey, this is, you know, this is a part of, you know, what you're going to be doing. And so I'm like, okay, let me do that thing. And he's like, nope, sit down, not time yet. Nope, sit down, we're not there yet. And being so confused about, okay, am I really hearing what he's saying, or am I making this up in my head, or, you know? But now more than ever am I just understanding, like, it's in his timing, not yours. And while you may know what you're supposed to be doing, you have to do it when he's ready for you to do it. Otherwise, it's not going to work. You can try as much as you want. You can push through as much as you want. But if it's not what's in his plan, it's not going to happen. And understanding that has gotten me so far within the last 2 to 3 months. And when I fully stepped into, okay, I trust that whatever it is that he is doing in my life and what he wants me to do, I'm not going to put any stress on myself. I'm not gonna, you know, fear. I'm not gonna, you know, try to, you know, figure it out on my own. He's got it. I have started to see things that are so shocking and so, like, for me, like, that's for me. And they are things that, of course, that I have, you know, wanted in my life before, or could imagine, you know, that's what my life would be like. But to actually see that those things are genuinely coming, and that they're coming 10 times over than what I could have even dreamed of, it is so amazing to me. And I was able to start seeing those things because I 100% trusted that he knew what he was doing, and that I didn't need to do anything. I didn't need to help him. Like, he is all knowing, all being. There is no helping him. And I was able to know that I was there because I have, you know, been tested with this thing of like getting a job. And I've shared that before about, oh my gosh, like, I'm looking for a job and it's so hard for me to find one. And oh my gosh, I, get an interview, they seem to like me, and I don't get hired, and nobody wants to hire me because of my mental health, and like all of these things. And all because obviously, in society, you need to have a job because you need to have money, because you need to take care of yourself. And I haven't worked in basically 4 years. That's something that is so uncomfortable for me. I have always worked since I, was able to get a job. And even in the beginning when I didn't have a job, I was in school. Like, I've always been doing something. I've never just done nothing. And from the time that I got the first job, I've always worked after that. Like, I've never not had a job. And me not working these past 4 years has been something that's so uncomfortable for me. And I wanted nothing more than to go back to work. I wanted nothing more to have a job. And with not having a job, of course, it's like, well, how are you going to take care of yourself if you don't have a job? But God blessed me, and God, walked me through it. And I've always been provided with what I needed. But I get into these moments where it's like, uh-oh, I don't see the provision coming, so let me go look for a job. And, it doesn't work out, and then I'm stressed, and then it's like, oh, but, here's the provision that you were thinking you weren't going to have, and now you have it. And, that kept happening. But then I started seeing things that were like, okay, you have been provided for 3 years now. And now it is time for you to work for the provision. It's already there for you. There's no question. There's no, am I going to have it? Am I not going? Like, there's no question about if you're going to have it or not. It's there. It's yours. It belongs to you. But for the past 3 years, you have not been in a mental state where you could work for it. So I just provided it to you because that is what you needed in that moment. But right now, you are in a time in your life where things are about to happen. But I need to know that you are willing to, and that you are going to work to see those things. That those things are not going to just, be handed to you in the sense of the same way that I've been providing. Because now you are capable of starting to, work for those things. And I got into a moment where I was like frantic because things weren't happening the way that they were before. And before, it was like things were like clockwork. Like, I knew, like, okay, this is going to happen, that's going to happen, and I'm going to be okay. And any moment where I felt like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? It was like, answer. This time, I got into a situation where it was like nothing's happening, and it felt like everything is falling apart. And what am I going to do? And I don't understand. Like, I've been, trying to, walk my purpose. I've been trying to do what I'm supposed to do. What's going on? Like, I don't get it. What am I supposed to do? And at which time, that would be a time where I would normally be like, okay, I have to look for a job. I have to get a job because that's the only way. And something inside of me, I prayed on it, and something inside of me said, trust. Just trust. That is all you need to do. You don't need to do anything besides trust. Stop worrying about it. Don't try to fix it yourself. Trust that things are going to work out the way they're supposed to do. And so I said, okay, well, I'm not going to look for a job. I've already been shown previous times, multiple times, getting a job is not what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be focusing on this thing, or you're supposed to be focusing on that thing. And if you have a job, you can't focus on this thing because you have to focus on your job. I've been told this before, but society says one thing, and so it's like, but I'm in the real world, and I gotta do something. But this time, I said, okay, fine. I'm going to trust. I'm not going to do anything. And I didn't look for a job this time. I didn't go anywhere to, even see what's out there. I didn't look. didn't even think about looking for a job. And things were coming up and it was like, okay, I'm not looking for a job, but what's gonna happen? Like, how am I, gonna do this? And it was just like, trust. That's what you need, trust. And part of you is always like, what? Trust is not gonna pay my bills. Like, trust is not gonna, fix my car. Like, trust is not going to put gas in my car. Like, how am I going to provide for myself? And it just, I kept praying on it. It was just like, things are happening, things are moving, things are shifting, trust. The moment I 100% said, okay, I trust, without question, without reason, without explanation, without needing to see that it was going to be, taken care of. Trust and sit in that moment of you have no clue, you have no idea how it's going to happen. But it's going to happen. That's where you need to sit. And so I did. And the moment that I sat in that and I felt that, it was like God touched me and he was like, and there you go. And it was almost like a sense of like calm over me that made me know and understand that from here on, the only thing that I need to do is trust, listen to what he's saying, and trust that he's going to take care of me. And it was probably the most beautiful like feeling, because I really felt like I was connected to him. Like I had like a direct line. And when I felt that moment, things just started happening. And they were things that I had previously been denied, things that were previously told no, and now all of a sudden they're happening. And not only that, but there are other things happening. And, I'm getting other confirmations and other signs through things and people that I wouldn't think that I'd be getting those signs. And all of these things are all pointing into the direction of walk in your purpose that you're supposed to be in. That is the way. That is what you need to focus on. And that is what you need to trust, that you are doing the right thing. And I've seen Sunday services, I've seen things on TikTok, I've seen things on Instagram, and it's so crazy to me because there are things like they come from nowhere, they come from nothing. And it's like, why is that now something that I'm seeing? Like, has it always been there and I just haven't like paid attention to it? Has it not been something that, I focused on? But the things that I'm seeing they're crazy. They are insane. And it's almost like, when you hear people say like, oh my gosh, a year ago my life was, completely different, and I'm living my dream, and oh my gosh, I have imposter syndrome because that's me, like that, like this is my life. I feel that way now without actually being in the exact moment that I am physically touching the things and physically seeing the things that are happening, but I already feel like I have imposter syndrome because the things that are there for me are the most amazing, the most beautiful, the most fulfilling things that I can see it. I can see it like it's clear as day. It's right there. And the only thing that is going to hold me back from seeing those things is myself and me standing in my own way. But because I was able to have that moment, that very sincere and loving and caring and just like overwhelming moment with God, that I felt a sense of calm, that I was like, you know what? I'm okay. I am going to be okay, and I'm going to be better than okay. And all of the years that I have been, fighting through this depression and my anxiety got worse, like I thought that I wouldn't be here. Like I have had moments where I was like, you know what? I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to be here anymore. And to know that 4 years ago I could have ended my life, to know that 2 years ago that could have happened, 3 years ago that could have happened, so many moments that was the answer for me. But for God to have his hand on my shoulder and tell me, no, just sit there, stay in this moment, feel the feeling. You are okay. You are not alone. And to be coming out of it now and seeing what he has been preparing for me and what I'm about to walk into makes everything that I just went through make sense in the most insane, in the most crazy way, because depression and anxiety are two things that are like not to be played with. They are things that are they're not a joke. They're serious. They are life-altering things. And when you're in that moment, you don't think that there is a other side. Like you don't think that you're gonna come out. The only thing you're feeling is tragedy and trauma and darkness. Like that's what you feel. So that's what you know. And God has blessed me with being able to feel those painful moments so I can reach back and help someone else. So I can reach back and be able to say to somebody, I know exactly how you feel. I know exactly what you're going through. And this is what got me through, and let me help you through, because you will get to the other side. And that me going through depression in the most severe way and me having anxiety in the most severe way was not for no reason. Was not because God was trying to punish me. Was not because I did something wrong. But simply because God said, I need you to go through this. I need you to feel this and feel all of it, because that is the only way you're going to be able to fulfill your destiny and truly walk in your purpose to help other people. And I knew that the moment I 100% said, I trust that you know what you're doing. I trust that you've got my back. I trust that you have laid out my life for me and that you are working and doing things in my life that I can't see, but I know that they're there. So there's no way that you would have put me through hell for no reason. And that is by far the most beautiful moment that I have had with God, that honestly changed my life and altered my life in the way that I think. And that moment happened within the last 2 to 3 months. And so within the last 2 to 3 months, I have seen a complete change and a difference. And the things that I once worried about are not things that I worry about now. And the more things that I start to, let go and understand, like, God is going to take all the pain away. He's going to take, all the worry, all the frustration, all the anger, and use it to help me walk in my purpose, then it all means something, and that it's not for no reason. And trusting that it's not for no reason is the thing that's going to pull you through. So I say to anybody that is watching this, any pain that you're feeling, any frustration, anger that you're going through, know that it is for a reason. And I heard that's, I'm remembering it right now that I didn't remember before, but in the Sunday service that I watched, she said, God said, I am going to take that pain and trauma and, anger, whatever negative feeling that you're having that the devil is using for bad, I'm going to take it and I'm going to use it for good. Hold on to that. Hold on to the fact that the thing that they meant for evil, God is taking to make it for good. That is something that you can hold on to, that you can believe, because that is what's real. That is the thing that's going to pull you through. That is the thing that is going to get you to the other side. So, with all of that being said, thank you so much for watching. I love every single one of you. God loves every single one of you. And I will see you guys in the next Raw Moments video. I hope you enjoy.